We're going to do a lower body focused movement break, thinking mostly about the hip joint here. So, we will be stretching out inner thighs, we'll be doing quads and hamstrings. But before we do any of that, we're going to do a little bit of loosening up here. I'm going to, just so I don't jingle, I'll unclip my badge. And so you can warm up your lower body in any way you want. I'm going to start off with a little bit of marching for myself here. But marching can get boring pretty quickly. So I'm also going to do some big side steps. And if any of these are not working for you and you want to substitute with something else, go for it. The next thing I'm going to do with my side steps is going under an object. So stepping wide and then almost under a fence, and under a fence. And I'm going to do it a couple times on each side. If you want to hold your hands in front of you, sometimes that can help for balance. Or if you want to hold on to a solid object as you do this, even a wall, sometimes that could be a nice support too. Or certainly a chair could be great. And now I'm going to pretend like I'm stepping over something huge. We're going over the fence. And whatever size fence you want to use, that's the fence that's right for you here, as we're using imaginary fences. And then it might also be nice to do a little bit of leg swinging. So maybe a little bit of forward and back swinging. And doing the other side, kicking forward and kicking back. And you'll notice I'm not swinging my leg up super high, right? There's a little bit of swing and a little bit of control. And if you use all momentum, you can overstretch or you can surprise your body in a bad way. So now I might also want to swing my leg out to the side. So with toes up and knees up, going up towards the ceiling, doing some kicks like that. I'm just going to do one more, and then I'm going to have toes and knees facing you. And I'm going to kick out to the side like this. Beautiful. And we'll do the other side here. So toes and knees going up towards the ceiling. And now toes and knees coming towards you here. Nice. So we've gotten a little bit of blood flow going, given our body a little bit of a courtesy call. And now is your time to sort of check in and say, did I notice anything in my body during this little loosen up phase? Is there anything I need to be careful of? Is anything feeling particularly awesome? And then that will help you tailor from there. I don't want you following what I say to the letter of what I say to the letter. I just want you to use this as a guide and then tailor to your own body and its needs. So if you can't do something or don't feel good about it, don't do it. Substitute with something of your own. So we're going to start off with a little inner thigh sequence, and I'm going to have feet wide for this. Toes are right now facing right towards you. I know you can't see that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift my hips a little bit so that my left hip or my right hip is low and my left hip is up higher. And I'm just going to max out this position until I can feel a nice stretch in my inner thigh here. If you can't feel it, you might need to step your feet a little bit wider apart. And then you're going to hold with your muscular engagement. Now you can absolutely work in and out of this if it's cranky on you, but if it feels good to stretch, you can hang out there for a few deep breaths. And then see if you could settle in a little bit more. Might be 1 millimeter, but progress is incredible either way. And if it just holds steady, that's okay too, right? That's not a failing of any variety. Sometimes our bodies just need to settle in and feel safe during a hold. And then in the future, it'll open up more. Let's go ahead and do the other side. So now my right hip is up high, my left hip is down as low as it can be, and I'm finding that inner thigh stretch on my left leg. As with the right side, if you want to work in and out of this a little bit, just so you aren't hanging out in a tense position or a position that doesn't feel great to you. Like maybe it just feels really new and you're like, I don't know if this is a good thing or not. Respect your body by coming out of it, going back in very slowly so that you can feel good about it. And now we're checking in, seeing if you could settle in a little bit more, leaning into that stretch. Breathing deeply. Beautiful. So we're going to come into the inner thigh stretch in a slightly different way now because my feet are parallel, going to angle my toes out a little bit here. And if you want to step your feet a little bit wider for this, that might also be nice. But what I'm going to do is essentially a sort of side lunge or Cossack squat where I'm bending my left knee and sitting back. Toes can come off the ground for this if it feels good. And I'm getting my inner thigh stretch this way with my hips even with each other. Hopefully that makes sense. Before we were manipulating the ankle through the hips, and now we're bending to get an inner thigh stretch. And we're going to move back and forth. So now I'm bending my right knee, left leg is straight, and I'll feel the inner thigh stretch in the inside of my left leg. And just like with earlier, you can go in and out, or you can hang out in one position. There isn't a right or wrong exactly. It's more of meeting your body where it's at and right sizing the challenge that you're giving it. Beautiful. Whenever you're ready, come on out. If you need a second to just give the other side a little bit more love, if you feel like, oh gosh, I got uneven with the timing, take that moment. And then we're going to come into an inner thigh stretch, which you may want a chair for, or you may not. So I'll show you the chair version here. Got my chair. I'm going to do a wide leg sumo style squat where my hands are going to have to ankle you guys down a little bit. And a little bit more. Okay. So wide leg squat, hands are on the inside of my knees here. I can have my butt on the chair or off the chair. Either way is fine here. And then I'm using my hands to push my knees apart a little bit. I can drop my right shoulder down, left shoulder down, or I can just stay here in the middle. It's a choose your own adventure game here. And whenever you're ready, come on out of it. So I'm going to move this chair a bit out of my way. And the next thing we have coming for us is a quad stretch. Now, it might be nice to hold on to something here for stability. I'm eventually going to either hold on to my foot or rest my foot on another chair. And I'm going to get a good quad stretch here by tucking my pelvis, making sure my hip bones are facing away. So we've got some right angles here where both hip bones are facing a wall. Foot is going back the exact opposite direction, nice and square to each other. Another option is if you're wearing pants, then you can hold on to the cuff of the pants here to sort of choose your own adventure. Now, once you find that position, sometimes people's knees come apart here. And that's a fun way that your body's sort of trying to get out of the stretch. So if you are able to, draw your knees together, maybe even have my left leg is bent here. Maybe even encourage your left knee to be slightly behind your right knee if you need to increase the stretch. And if you need to back out of the stretch, the chair is a really great option. So looking for a stretch in our quads here, whatever level is good for you. And then just breathe into it. Check in with your spine, make sure that you're staying nice and long and tall, like somebody has one of your hairs, and they're just pulling you straight up. Beautiful. And then we'll go to the other side. So holding on to something on this side, and then finding the right adventure with my right leg now. I'm going to hold on to my foot, but you could absolutely hold on to the cuff of your pants. You could rest your foot on a chair, whatever adventure is right for your body today. Beautiful. And then noticing side to side differences, noticing if there's a unique way that your body might be trying to squeeze out of the stretch here, compensate and not do the stretch perfectly. Sometimes we feel that rather than an intense stretch. We notice our body just looks a little bit squirrely. Beautiful. Checking in with your pelvis, making sure that it's tucked a little bit, just because that can help us find the stretch if we aren't feeling it automatically. Checking in with your knees, making sure that your right knee is near your left knee and either even with it or slightly behind it as you do the stretch. Beautiful. So I've gotten quads taken care of and inner thighs taken care of. And now we're going to do a really glorious forward fold sequence, which means I'm going to take my chair here. You don't have to use a chair for this, but you can. And I'm going to have feet wide as I hinge through my hips and go forward. In my case, I'm going to be sideways towards you so I can hold onto my chair, and feet are wide, and I'm just folding forward with the support of the chair. And I'm just breathing and enjoying that stretch. Now, if I was more flexible, I could absolutely flip the chair around and do it like this. But honestly, for me, the right size of stretch is way up here. And then whenever you're done with that stretch, instead of having feet wide, we're going to do feet narrow. So feet are right next to each other, just changing the angle slightly through your hips as you do that forward fold. And noticing how it feels different. Might feel a little bit more intense this way. Might even notice that your lower back is rounding a little bit more than when your feet were wide. Lovely. And whenever you're ready, take one last deep breath there and come on out. And then the next one we're going to do is I'm going to take my right foot, I'm going to step it across my left foot so my legs are crossed like this, and then I'm going to forward fold here. This one is likely going to be the most intense, so don't feel like you have to get your upper body as low as you did when your legs were wide apart, right? That's not necessarily a realistic expectation. You guys can't see how much higher I am in this position than I was with wide leg, but if it helps you to see, I am quite a bit more elevated in my upper body than I was before. And then we're going to just do one last position. Right leg was in front of left. We're just going to do the other side, keep us even. So now left leg is stepping over in front of my right. So my legs are crossed again, and one more forward fold here. just for a couple of seconds. You can, if you don't have a chair with you or something to hold on to, you can absolutely rest your hands on your legs, maybe right above your knees is a good spot, just so you feel supported and you can relax into it a little bit more. Beautiful. One last really nice deep breath here and a complete exhale. And that's our movement break for the day. I hope you enjoyed it, maybe learned something, and I hope you have a fabulous afternoon. Take care, everyone.